It's weird to be a recovering drug addict. It was weird to be a drug addict, but at least I was on drugs. It's strange sometimes. You know, like, I'm doing great, but when I'm alone, I'm with the person that tried to kill me. Sometimes I walk past a mirror, I'm like, oh great, this fucking guy again, Jesus. That is kind of a creepy feeling sometimes, but it's also a nice feeling. It gives me a strange kind of confidence sometimes. Because, like, look, I used to care what everyone thought about me so much. It was all I cared about. All I cared about was what other people thought of me. And I don't anymore. And I don't because I can honestly say, what is someone gonna do to me that's worse than what I would do to myself? What are you gonna cancel John Mulaney? I'll kill him. I almost did.
I've been married for about 3.5 years now, and I love and respect my wife very much. So I said to her, hey, we've been married for 3.5 years, and she knew that. I said, do you mind if I still make fun of you on stage? And my wife said, she goes, yeah, you can make fun of me, but just don't say that I'm a bitch and that you don't like me. I was like, whoa, the bar is so much lower than I ever imagined. That's it? Also, I wouldn't say that. What kind of show would that even be? Hello! My wife is a bitch! And I don't like her! That's like a support group for men in crisis with keynote speakers John Voight and Alec Baldwin. Also, I would never say that, not even as a joke, that my wife is a bitch and I don't like her. That is not true. My wife is a bitch and I like her so much. She is a dynamite 5-foot Jewish bitch and she's the best. Everything was slower back in the old days because they didn't have enough to do, so they had to slow things down to fill the time. I don't know if you read history, but back then people would wake up and go, oh God, it's the old times. Oh, shit, I gotta wear all those layers. There's no Zyrtec or nothing. Okay, we gotta think of some weird, slow activities to fill the day. And they did. Have you ever seen, like, old film from the past? Of people just, like, waving at a ship? Like... What if I called you now to do that? Hey, what are you doing Monday at 10 a.m.? All right, there's a Norwegian cruise line leaving from Martinique. Here's my plan. You and me get very dressed up, including hats, and then we wave handkerchiefs at it till it disappears over the horizon. No, I don't know anyone on the ship.
My prescriptions. Not the illegal pills I bought on the street. The official prescriptions with my name on them. And they took them from me simply because I had no business being prescribed them in the first place. But oh, the collection I had. All the effort, all the work that went into it. Do you know how hard it is to get a doctor to write you a prescription for a pill you don't need? It's not hard. It's so easy. It's so easy. Here's what you do, or here's what I did, but don't do it, but if you did do it, it would totally work. Okay. Go on like WebMD, search doctors in your zip code, okay? And then sort the results. Lowest rating to highest. You will not need to scroll far. Find the doctor in your area with the lowest number of stars. This person needs your business. Is this a bad doctor? Nay, nay. This is the best doctor. Dude. You can walk in there, and it's like Captain Phillips. You can be like, look at me. I am the doctor now. You can use their computer. Check Yahoo.
Also, what did I get for my money? What is college? Stop going till we figure it out. Because I went to college, I have no idea what it was. I went to college, I was 18 years old, I looked like I was 11. I lived like a goddamn Ninja Turtle. I didn't drink water the entire time. I lived on cigarettes and alcohol and Adderall. College was like a 4-year game show called Do My Friends Hate Me or Do I Just Need to Go to Sleep? But instead of winning money, you lose $120,000. Some friends of mine were sued in college for property damage, and they were guilty. The lawsuit dragged on for years and years, and eventually I got a call when I was 28 years old, and it was my friend from college. He said, hey, that lawsuit with my neighbor is still dragging on, and my neighbor just subpoenaed all my emails from college that mention him or the lawsuit. And I said, well, that's crazy, but why are you calling me? And he said, because you should be concerned. Said, I have an email here from junior year where I wrote, hey guys, I'm gonna miss practice tonight because I have to meet with my neighbor about that lawsuit thing. And you replied, hey, do you want me to kill that guy for you? Because it sounds like he sucks and I will totally kill that guy for you. Okay, see you at improv practice. Of all the sentences in that email I would be ashamed to have read out loud in a court of law, I think the top one is see you at improv practice. It's good to give to charities, you know. My wife and I just gave a bunch of stuff to the Goodwill. We were moving apartments, we had a bunch of clothes and furniture, so we made a whole day out of it. We made these big piles of clothes, then we put the piles into these big boxes, then we put the boxes into the back of my car, and then they stayed there for 4 months. And then one day my wife said, hey, you took that stuff to Goodwill, right? And I said, of course I did. On an unrelated note, I'm gonna walk out the front door right now. So then I had to speed to Goodwill really fast, so it was charitable, but it was also fast and violent because I was throwing boxes at people. The boxes were so heavy I couldn't even say what was in them. I was like, this one's shirts. I got a bunch of shirts. Take it away. The guy tried to give me a big receipt. He's like, take this receipt for the clothing for your taxes. I was like, how do I write that on my taxes? Dear IRS, please deduct from my federal income tax one XXL Billabong t-shirt from youth. It was too big. My mom said it could be a sleep shirt. Please deduct this from my 2017 income. Mick Jagger would go like this. He'd go, Diet Coke, and one would appear in his hand. Now that's not nice, right? The way I was raised, you're supposed to say, may I please have a Diet Coke, please? And then maybe you will get one. And I bet all of you were taught to say please and thank you. But if all of us could go, Diet Coke, and one would appear in our hand, we'd do it all day long. Even if you don't like Diet Coke, you just summon them so you could chuck them at oncoming cars. Famous people are often rude because they're used to getting things really quickly. And I bet a lot of us are pretty polite. But as soon as we get things quickly, we start to get ruder and ruder. Look at technology. It's faster than ever, and we're ruder than ever. People walk around on the phone now hello? Hello, you still there? Lost him. And that's it. No follow through with that guy. 50 years ago, if you were on the telephone with your friend and suddenly the line just went dead, that meant your friend was murdered. I had a very weird job in my mid-20s for about 4.5 years. I was a writer right across the street over at Saturday Night Live. And it was very exciting. Yeah, it was great. I loved it. If you haven't seen the show, you gotta check it out. They have a host and a musical guest. Oh my God, you're gonna love it. Oh, real quick tangent. Okay, my favorite host ever introducing a musical guest was this, all right? The host was Sir Patrick Stewart, okay? Yeah, the great Sir Patrick Stewart. And this is how he introduced the musical guest, all right? He went, ladies and gentlemen, salt and pepper! Like he was surprised by pepper. Minutes before, they'd been like, Sir Patrick, we can't find pepper anywhere. And he was like, if we must go on with salt alone, we will go on with salt alone. And they're like, 3, 2, 1. And Peppa burst through the door. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, salt. And what's this? Peppa!